So in this video, we're going to look at the Korg Volca bass. Before we go into anything, I'm just going to describe what this keyboard setup is. The black areas here are actually the white keys on a chromatic keyboard. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then here's an octave C again. Now speaking of octaves, we can change the octave by turning this knob. And that is indicated by the LED octave. So right now we're using what's called VCO 1. That just means voltage control oscillator 1. There's 3 of them. An oscillator is just what makes that buzzy sound. Just that tone that you hear. So right now, if you look down here, this light is lit. And that's VCO group 1 here, which means you'll just see 3 broken boxes here. And that just means these are all separate. This one shows 2 different boxes. The first 2 are combined and then it's broken to the third, which means it would mean this first one would be VCO 1 and 2 combined and 3 would be alone. This mode is on an unbroken area. What that means is all the VCOs are working together. So if I switch to here and I choose either one of these, you can hear both of them playing. And then this one is alone. Whereas again, function and then press this one, they're all together. So you can get different kinds of tones depending on what you want to do with this. We have all VCOs together. So we have a really thick sound here. Now what we want to do is look at the pitch up here. So this is according to whatever VCO it's above. You just turn the pitch. Now you'll see here, it'll say a number and then C, that's the cent value. Let's say we have this in the middle on off, and then this one, we're gonna bring it down a couple cents. You hear that difference. You hear it kind of thickens up the waves. And then if we do, let's bring this one up a couple cents. And the more you do it, the more intense that sound is. So if we want to change these VCOs, you'll see here VCO Wave, and it'll have 1, 2, and 3. Now what you can do is change it from saw to square. So right now it's a saw. Hold down function, let's turn it on to square. You'll hear it maybe in the higher notes too. Okay, so you have the different tones, and of course you can do that for all the other ones. So, on or off. Next, what's very important here is the peak and cutoff. So if I turn this, you can hear what that does. And then if you turn this up, it's going to make it more sharp. Even to the point of making a sound like that. So you can do a lot of combinations with that to get interesting sounds. Now what we're going to look at next here is amp EG on. Now that's off currently. Now what this means, amp or volume level, EG is the envelope generator up here. An envelope is just a ramp, in other words, which I'll explain. So if we turn this on, the settings on here is going to affect the volume. So as you can hear, it's a short note currently. So we have attack now, that's set to all the way down, which means it'll be an instant attack. If you turn it up, it's gonna fade in. The further you turn it, the further that ramp is gonna take to hit that pinnacle, the top of the envelope. Decay here and release, it's combined. So decay, you're gonna hear it just fade out. Now if we bring it up into release, now we go past the half mark, now it's going to make it longer and longer. Even after I've let go of the note. So there's the difference there. And now we have cutoff EG int. Now what that means is this cutoff will be applied to this envelope generator. Int just means intensity, so the amount that we want this filter to be processed by this. I'm going to turn off amp EG on, so it's only going to affect the filter. And you hear it fade in now because I'm turning attack up. So now we have that set. I'm just going to turn that down for now. Now we're going to look at the LFO. What that means is low frequency oscillator. In other words, it's just a slower wave than a sound wave. And what we can do is change the rate and intensity of it. So what we want to do first, though, it has to be applied to something. So you just imagine this little wave is going to be applied to either amp, pitch, or cutoff. You'll see down here LFO target. Now the amp, that's just the volume. So it would apply the volume to the wave. And then LFO target pitch would apply the wave to the pitch or the note, how high or low it's going to go. You can also apply it to cutoff. I can apply it to all of these or any of these. So let's just apply it to amp first so you can hear what it does. We don't hear any change now. I'm going to turn up the amount or intensity. And then we're going to turn up the rate because right now it's set to nothing. So you can bring it higher or lower. And bring it all the way up so now it goes full to nothing, and then you can change that rate. Now there's also LFO wave right here. Right now it's currently doing a triangle wave or up and down, which we can hear. There's also a square wave, so hold down function and press this LFO wave. The light's going to go on. And there it is. Now it's a square wave. Let's bring that back into triangle. Let's now apply that to pitch. Now let's apply it to the cutoff, or it's going to apply that filter to this. As you can hear, that rate can go pretty fast. So let's check this out. Let's put it into this mode. We have all VCOs together. What we can do is just press record here and press play, and you'll see it run through whatever tempo. You can turn the tempo here, but you'll see the tempo numbers right there. And what I can do is just play to the tempo here. Now what we're going to do is go into slide edit. So hold on function slide edit. And what we're going to have here is each area here is a step. And if I turn it on, what it means is it'll either tie the notes together. So if there's a bunch of the same note and you want it to be a clean, long stretch, you just turn on the slide through it. And if I press play, you'll be able to watch the steps go through. Let's say right here I want this to slide. So I just hold that down. And what that means is it's going to either tie the notes or make it slide to the next note. So you can hear what that's doing there. Now let's add some lower notes here. Turn this up a little. So that's one way to do it. Now, another way to do this is we can go function and then step record. So let's see what that does here. So we're in step record mode. You'll see it right here. And it's blinking on the first step. There's 16 steps. So all I can do here is just play a note. And after I play the note, it's going to go to the next blinking step. So every button press I press, it creates that step. So if I just want to place, let's say, a silent note, you just press step record, and it's just going to record that as silent. So if you're in step record mode and you don't know what the note's going to be, so you can actually skip through the notes by pressing active step. so we have that. Now let's just add another note then. Okay. Let's change that note. And let's exit function and press play. So you can go through and actually change these out all you want. Let's say if you like a pattern that you've made and you want to store it, you just choose function and write. Now it says save and you have memory 1 through memory 8. So let's save it to here. So I'm going to press that one and then it blinks and that means it's saved. To recall, press memory again and then press the memory slot you want to load and it should load it. So that's pretty much how everything works. Now let's go back into the single oscillator mode and let's do function and then we have clear. Let's clear the steps, the active step and all. Now we're going to go over active step in a minute here, but I just want to show you how you can multi-track for 3 different ones. So I'm going to do step record. Let's just pick some notes here. And let's exit function and press play. So you can go through and actually change these out all you want. Okay, so again, that is just one track. So I'm going to go into here and we're going to go and step record. Okay, so that might not sound so good, but it's just to illustrate, like you can hear all the notes, so you can actually go through, press the play button, find where you want to add notes, things like that. And now we have the last VCO. I'm just going to record something on that. Now we have active step. Actually, I'm going to show you the mute function here. Hold down function, that's mute VCO 2 and 3. Press play. We're going to go into active step. And what you can do is change how it cycles through. So turning it on will add that step. So what this will do is it'll go through the cycle of all the notes that it has lit up. So if I take some of these out, it's just going to skip the ones that we had turned off. Now I'm going to mute that one and then unmute VCO 2. Active step. Mute that and then unmute 3. Now we're going to go into 3. Active step. Of course, we can have all of them going by unmuting them, and then it might not sound good, but it's just to illustrate how this works.